Thanks for checking out this horror film review from the Skeleton Crew Horror Podcast. You could find our full archive of every unedited show at horrorphilia.com. Also subscribe to the Skeleton Crew on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy the review.
Welcome back to the Skeleton Crew's A Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective. It's time to relive the nightmares with your hosts, Jamie Jenkins, Dave Z, Michael J, and Alex Edwards. Get ready for an in-depth look into the movies that haunted your dreams since 1984. So put down that coffee and toss that bottle of Hypnosil. If you think you'll get out of this retrospective alive, you must be dreaming.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Skeleton Crew, and we are back. This is our Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective, where we go through every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie for June and July this summer. That's what we're doing this summer, guys. So, this is Alex, and something's trying to get inside my body, and I'm here trying to get some sleep with Jamie Jenkins. What's up, Jamie?
Screw sleep!
Yes, sleep will kill you. Now it's time to sit down with my main man, Dave Z. What's up, Dave?
Well, fuck you, Will! Fuck you! You sit down!
Alright, I'll sit down, sure. And last but not least, it's slumber party time with Michael J.
How's this for a wet dream?
Well, those are the only ones I remember, Mike. So we're excited here, guys. It is the 8 weeks of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I said, for all of June and July, we're going to release one show a week for 8 straight weeks for 8 movies. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Survivors of undead serial killer Freddy Krueger, who stalks his victims in their dreams, learn to take control of their own dreams in order to fight back.
It's 1987. Do you know where Freddy is? There's no waking up from this nightmare. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Starts Friday, February 27th at a theater near you. Consult local listing.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. You are all my children now.
Alright guys, tonight we're talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. This was made in 1987. This movie stars the return of Nancy Thompson, played by Heather Langenkamp. Bill Maher plays Neil Gordon.
Very good.
No, I was kidding. That's not Bill Maher, guys. You're probably all confused. It's actually a poor man's Bill Maher called Greg Wasson.
And I will give you $500 now if you can tell me another movie that he was in.
Body double.
God damn it. Not just that one, but another one. He's in
Just that
X-Ray.
one.
Wait,
This must be real hard.
Is it called X-Ray? What the hell is it called?
So Jamie gets fucked? No?
I don't know what it is.
Because she guessed it? You gotta get it.
Shit.
Yeah, does she get the money? Mike, are you thinking of Jennifer Rubin, who plays Tara, and she was in...
Bad Dreams.
Yeah, she was in
Yeah,
that, but
but
she was also in the...
She was
no.
also in The Crush.
Right,
Yes.
but she was also in that, No, but that Greg, whatever the fuck his name is, was in the other movie that's a double feature with Bad Dreams that
Oh,
Scream
Schizoid?
Factory put out. That's it. Yeah. Or Hospital Mass. I'm getting confused because fucking
X-Ray.
A Films is putting it out as X-Ray.
X-Ray.
Yes.
Yep. And I got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I know. Fucking yes.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you're happy for me. And then you got Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Guys, he's in every movie if you didn't know that, except for the remake. And Ken Sagos as Kincaid, man.
Yeah, Kincaid's the best.
Rodney Eastman is Joey. He doesn't shut the fuck up for 1 second in this movie. Bradley Gregg is Philip. He's the guy, the puppeteer guy, and he was also in Stand By Me. He was Eyeball.
Yeah, isn't it something?
Was
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Wow.
I know he didn't mean to insult my friend. Yeah, it's him.
I used to have a crush on Eyeball when I was a kid.
I can see that.
I wonder if they called him Eyeball because the guy put a cigarette to his eye, and it's all melted on the eyelid.
Yes.
Ira Heiden, who was a dork in 1987 and continues to be one now, is Will, the Wizard Master.
I wonder if he's really a gimp.
No, I don't think he is, because he stood up in the movie. The fuck is wrong
yeah,
with
that's
you?
right. Well, no, they could have harnessed him, and he could have been the puppet.
Wouldn't it be easier to hire a guy who can walk?
Well, no, you got to make it challenging. I love that. It's brilliant.
Lawrence Fishburne is Max.
Does anyone else think Lawrence Fishburne's face has gotten, like, huge over the years? Like, it just continues to grow?
Yeah, his whole head.
His face is just enormous now.
His face is growing around his skull.
He looked like a normal guy back then, and now it's just like his jaw is like, I don't know, it's like a lantern jaw, but on steroids.
You see him on Hannibal? Yeah.
And the big star of this movie, and I don't know why, I don't know, is there something wrong with me? I just don't get this, what the big deal is. Everyone mentions it like it's a huge deal. Patricia Arquette is Kristen Parker. I don't understand why that's a big deal. Am I not, like, savvy on
because
why
of who she is, and
Who is she?
She's an Arquette, first and foremost.
she's an Arquette.
So?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
She's
And she's
related
had
to Dewey,
success.
for Christ's sake.
Nobody cares. Nobody even cares about Dewey.
Are you?
Yeah, but that's
Well-
not the only one. The entire you've got Alexis Arquette, and
Don't know her.
Alexis is a he. Rosanna Arquette.
I
You don't know Rosanna Arquette?
Rosanna Arquette? No.
You're
Song
sheltered, Alex.
Rosanna was written about her.
Yo, yeah, she was in that movie with Madonna.
Yes,
Wasn't she?
Desperately
Yeah.
Seeking Susan.
That's when I got the
1985.
hots for her. Her and Madonna are both hot in that movie.
Like, I'm looking at Patricia Arquette's thing. She was in Medium, I never heard of. Boyhood, never heard of. True Romance, that was good. And Ed Wood.
Didn't she just win an award? Didn't she just win Best Actress and some
Yeah,
shit?
because she's on CSI Cyber now.
That's the
But
answer.
but she won for Boyhood.
So it's a big deal because she went on to have a real career.
Kind
Well,
of.
it's because she's an Arquette.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean,
They're a
anything?
big
It's an
acting
Arquette,
family.
for Christ's sakes.
Like, their whole family is just full of actors. That's why.
Okay.
It's like Hollywood royalty in a way.
Because I was going to say, I didn't think her performance was super amazing, but
No, she
her
was a baby.
performance was great.
it was good.
It was fine.
This movie takes place primarily in Weston Hills. That is a mental institution. So this movie starts off with a really cool little opener. Patricia Arquette, the legend herself, is building a house out of popsicle sticks or something like that. And it's the Freddy... Well, I guess it's just Nancy's house. We never really established why it's a big deal, that house. It just happens
Right.
to be... It just happens to be where Nancy lived.
And they continue that fucking throughout the whole rest of the series. And when we get to part 4, I'll have a little bit of a tirade about it.
Why is Nancy's house the basis for where you go for your drink? I don't understand. Like, we established her mom and dad, yes, had something to do with it, but the whole point is that all the parents had something to do with Freddy, getting torched to death. So what's this house about? I don't know.
It should be the boiler room. That's what it should be.
Right.
Don't you think? That should be the significance of Freddy.
Yeah, every dream should just be in the boiler room, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, instead of 1428 Elm Street being everything, it should be the boiler room in its place. That's where he did all his evil deeds.
1428 became the doorway to the boiler room, though.
What is this, fucking Poltergeist?
Exactly. Well, 1428 is the doorway to the boiler room. Exactly. That's
Okay.
what happened.
Well, I like it, regardless of the fact that it doesn't make any sense in any real way. Like, I like that house, and I like the imagery and the way it reoccurs. I think it's cool. Kristen has a dream where she's, in that house and all this stuff, and she sees this little girl on the front steps. She goes, "Hi, what's your name?" She's like, "Kristen," and she goes, "What's your name?" The kid's like, and just walks away.
Yep, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, you told me yours. I ain't telling you shit, bitch. So, it's a pretty little cool, elaborate dream, and what ends up happening is the faucet handles come to life and become hands in the dream, grab her and slash her wrists. This is something we could discuss because we talked about the parallel of what's going on in real life as opposed to what's going on in the dream. Here's where it's weird again, because normally Freddy could just, and normally, barring part 2, of course, which absolutely had nothing to do with anything because everybody was awake. In part 1, whatever Freddy did to you just showed up on your body because Freddy did it. Now, Freddy cuts your wrists, and to make this happen in real life, you have to cut your wrist. Which is strange. Like, I don't understand.
It was just to make it look, because they put the razor blade in her hand. So that was all just to fool the mother. Yeah. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's the reason, because if the mother just would have walked in and she has 2 slit wrists and no razor blade, then everything goes out the window. Then she's like, what the fuck is this? Then she may believe in Freddy. But I guess, in order to sustain the parental roles throughout the series, they never believed the children. So, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. You're right. Yeah,
like, why wasn't she just in bed? Like, why was she in the bathroom where it took place?
And they made her sleepwalk to the sink. She was having that crazy dream, which was awesome. And then she gets up, and we believe that she's really waking up from the dream. And she goes to the sink, and then it happens. So in essence, they punk us. It's kind of cool, It's sleepwalking. But that's what's good about this movie, is that these are real dreams now. Instead of every dream being where they're at, like in part 1, in the house or in the boiler room, maybe. Now, dreams, they're like the dreams we really have. They're elaborate. It could be anywhere, and different things could happen. Mm-hmm. So, yep. But yeah, it was strange. I hear you.
Yeah. So she has this big outburst. She goes to the mental institution, Weston Hills, and she's like, get away, get away. She starts slashing up the people who work there. It was really funny because Nancy gets reintroduced to this movie, and it's funny because she hooks up with Bill Maher, and they start working together with this lady who obviously has to be the one who just doesn't get it and stuff, this older lady. Are they having like some kind of romance or some shit like that? Because how many times do you take your coworker out to eat or have dinner, a late night candle fucking lit dinner in their house?
He wanted her.
Yeah, like
so that is exactly what it feels like. It feels like they were romantic, or they were romantic interested, but it didn't really flesh out. There's not really time for that to flesh out in this film. There's so much other stuff going on. Seems like a useless sort of side plot, but that's exactly what it felt like.
You know what? When you said... Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, you know what, Jamie? It seems like she was more into him than she was into Glenn in the first one.
Yeah, well, I definitely believe them as a couple more than I would believe her and Glenn.
Yeah.
This is true. But you know what, Alex? When you said that they're having a romance, I thought you were talking about Bill Maher and the older lady.
I did too at first, and I was like, wait a minute, what? I don't remember that. And then it hit me.
I said, what? I don't know if it recorded.
I heard you.
Yeah, they even at the funeral, they got their arms around each other. They have 20 fucking dinners. Like, holy shit.
The older lady, I don't know if you guys ever saw Follow That Bird, but she looked like the human version of Miss Finch from Follow That Bird.
How about Wes Craven? Wes Craven's in on this. He wrote the story, and he wrote the screenplay, apparently.
What? Because I thought it was totally cut out. Like, didn't they say in that documentary that he wrote this movie and then it was just all over the place and it was very dark and he had Freddy saying, "Come here, you cunt," and Kincaid Kincaid, I want your asshole.
They didn't completely get rid of everything he did. They just brought in, what I got from it anyway, was that they brought in other elements, and like 4 people are credited with writing this, or at least what it looked like when I was watching the doc.
Yeah, Darabont was one of them.
Yeah, they used parts of 2 different scripts or something like that. I don't know.
It seems like the ones that are the most highest regarded are 1, 3, and New Nightmare, primarily. And they're all the ones that Craven had his mark on. So
true. Those are the ones I really like.
So what do you guys think of how the world and mythology they built around, like, what do you think of the expansion of part 1? I mean, this is a weird movie because it's perfect in a way when it comes to those elements. Bringing back the characters, they did that perfectly. Like, in Friday 2, Alice was just brought back to putz around her apartment and be killed for some reason. I don't even know what the point was. And, you bring back other reoccurring characters, like Jamie Lee Curtis was brought back in Halloween to sleep and crawl through a hallway. And then in this one, Nancy is brought back with a gigantic purpose, and it's
much better acting.
Oh, she must have been like, what was I? And it's funny because she actually to this day says her performance in Nightmare 1 is her favorite. She must be just pandering to the fans, man. There's no way she believes that. They brought her back with a purpose. It really feeds into the element that the parents don't believe the kids. And she's there as she's sort of like the adult who believes in the kids. And she's been through it, so they can relate to her. And we, as an audience, relate because we know she's been through it. She's our inner voices in ways and stuff like that. And then they expand on the dreams, how all the other kids are dreaming the same thing this time, just like part 1. But here's the weird thing. How do they all end up in the same Weston Hills? Like, what, everyone who dreams about Freddy Krueger goes to the same psych ward?
Well, why not? It's probably not that big of an area, Springwood. There's only so many psych wards around. I think if I went to a psych ward near me, I can't even tell you what it is because you never hear what they're called. So I think Bry Lynn, I think, is the one near me. So I think anyone within like a 100-mile radius, they kind of go to the same spot. That I could buy. Because it isn't like you get a psych ward every other block. They're not like fucking quick cares or something.
But is there a nightmare wing?
Yes, there was, and she showed it to us. Mary showed it to us.
That's right.
Sister Mary Ellen showed it to us, which is, I think, is kind of fun. I love that origin story. Yeah. By the way, I absolutely love it. I really love this whole film. This, to be perfectly honest, this is my absolute favorite of the Nightmare series. I think it's practically perfect. There are some silly things, like if I look at Jennifer Rubin now when she's like beautiful and bad, it makes me giggle. God. It makes me giggle. Yeah. But I really like the amount of care that went into crafting this story. I think that and like you were talking about with expanding on the original universe and everything and bringing Nancy back with a solid, meaty role. They didn't bring her back just to have her in the background. They brought her back and actually gave her a purpose, which is something that you rarely see when they bring back characters, which you mentioned, and I think you're absolutely right about that. Anyway, I love this one. And I also love that we get the background story, which I think is a really fun one, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because technically he would only be the bastard son of one maniac.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because, you can be raped hundreds of times, but only one of them is going to hit the buzzer, But still, it sounds cool and creepy.
Yeah, it sounds great. Like 100 maniacs raped you, and then you get Freddy out of it. But
it's cool sound.
Yeah, the logic is that only one sperm, right, can actually penetrate an egg.
Maybe crazy sperm is different from normal sperm.
Well, you would know, is it, Mike?
Exactly, I think it is.
It just runs around going, bah!
Exactly. and mine just have little canes, too, that click around with it.
Does your sperm have canes? Or can it wiggle itself?
No, I don't think it can. I think that, it just, clicks all around. And then that's why, I will probably never get a woman pregnant because they don't know where they're going.
You have gimpy sperm.
Exactly.
It would take them 3 weeks to hit the egg, and by then she'll have her period.
They keep falling down.
Yep. Yeah. Well. Yeah. See, and
crashing into the walls.
Well, there's somebody by the name of Darnell. They probably have like super, wheelchair, like electric wheelchair sperm that just zoom right up there. So the only problem is he'll never get to, lay them anywhere. So
yeah, what girl would fuck him? That's the problem.
I can see your sperm, Mike. I'm just picturing this right now, like like a tablespoon of your sperm. Every one of them stalled because they're stopped and they're laughing and they're completely confused and they're like. They can't get where they're going because they're laughing so hard. And then they go, I gotta go, and they all take off.
I gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, no, that happens, because they're going around for like weeks and weeks and weeks. The period starts and the rush of blood starts coming down, and it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're like, gotta go.
Mike's sperm gotta go. Sorry, no kid. Yeah, it's a great expansion, and what I like about it also is they introduce what becomes a legendary drug in horror, Hypnosil. It's funny because goddamn, this guy, dude, have some like a girl drops her purse and shit rolls out of it. You pick it up and read the goddamn label.
Well, he's a doctor. What's he supposed to do?
Dude, it's just like what an invasion of privacy.
And then have the balls to mention it to her. To do one is one thing, but then to actually admit to it and out yourself? Oh, fuck.
I saw that Krabs medication in your purse, so are we good?
I just think that was politically incorrect of him to do that. But yeah, it was weird. What do you think about like when they were talking and they were like building the mythology of everything around this whole thing? Like, how about when he told his story about the one kid who was so afraid to go to sleep that he cut his eyelids off with a razor blade?
Oh, that's sick.
When I was a kid, I wanted to try that, but I realized they wouldn't grow back.
Fucking feed you a whole bottle of sleeping pills and then cut off your eyelids.
Who said that?
It's from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, yeah? How about when they keep saying only straight talk in this room?
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Straight talk.
Well, it's because of part 2 was so gay-friendly. They wanted to go out of the way to make sure this was straight talk.
Yeah.
Either that or Dolly Parton was going to be in it.
Hey, guys, no Judy Garland or fucking...
Yeah, nobody sneaking down to the Nightmare Wing to see Jesse, please. Thank you.
Jesse.
Maybe that's where...
That's where he got it?
Yeah, Breaking Bad got that from him. Jesse. Go on, Jesse, try it on for size.
They should have made a play on that. You know?
Cook the meth, Jesse.
And what about when the kid was playing that fucking wizard game, the board game? Did that not look like the most boring thing to ever do with your life?
Yo, it's D&D. A bunch of fucking strange people were doing it at the time.
Hey, I do it now.
You're not a strange person? I didn't say geek or loser or anything.
I know. I know. You censored yourself with it. No, but we do actually play, well, when we can, like every other weekend.
You're a really strange person.
I have to bring something up about that game, which is really fucked up about this movie. They're playing that game, right? And remember, the wizard kid, I forget his name. He's the one.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
We'll call him Mr. Wizard.
I think it's actually Will.
Mr. Wizard.
I think it is Will. Yeah.
It is Will. Okay. Will says, remember when they're playing the game and they roll the dice? Jennifer Rubin's character, what's her name? Whatever her name is, Taryn. Yes. So Taryn does her thing, and then he says to the girl, by the power of whatever, by the power of Grayskull.
No, by the power of the elves to let them pass through a bridge or some shit.
Right. Okay. The point is this: he makes her say it. He's like, no. You have to say it. You can't just fucking, I read it, but you have to say it for the game to be official. That's all well and good. Hold on. That's all well and good, but who's the other guy that he's playing it with?
The guy who doesn't talk.
Yes, Joey.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense. So what, Joey gets a pass? He doesn't have to say nothing the whole game?
No, he does sign, and I can't. It's a shame we don't have video, or you'd see the motions that I'm doing here to, like, imitate
I love this movie, but I watched it this time because when you do the review, you take your notes and you do your thing. I noticed things for the first time because it's for review. So there's a lot of funny things in this movie I never noticed, and I'm going to be a little critical of them. Doesn't affect my love for the movie, but I definitely have to bring them up.
Well, if it's funny, then that's what we want to hear.
Right.
This is an entertainment show, not a fucking learn anything show.
Right. It's not Mr. Wizard.
As we have proven time and time again.
Yeah. Is it just for the fact that I said learn anything show instead of educational? You could tell we don't learn anything.
Exactly. We're not very learned.
Right. We're about as dumb as you get.
As dumb as they come.
So how about when Nancy talks about how her mother died in her sleep? Is that a reference to her sinking into the bed?
That's what I always took it as.
See, I thought that was a dream, so maybe she really did die in her sleep, like, after the fact.
I kind of thought it was after the fact. You know what? Well, if you watch the doc, which I think is interesting, Nightmare, Freddy. What's his name? God damn it. Robert Englund. See, this is a learn something show. Robert Englund's theory of the original Nightmare is that the entire thing is a precognitive dream that Nancy has. And so and he believes that the entire thing from the very beginning is all her dream, and it's a dream warning her about what's going to take place, and that the movie doesn't actually start until the very end of the film. And that's how he takes it, which I think is really interesting. Sort of close to what we were talking about when we talked about the movie, about how like pretty much the last huge chunk of it is all a dream. But then I think that his version of that is kind of cool too. But anyway, so if that were true, if all of that was a dream and it was Nancy's dream, that means none of that happened. But even if what we say was true and that all the parts that we say were a dream, then none of that happened. So it had to be sometime after.
What the fuck did we bother watching this for?
No.
It's just a setup story.
If either of those theories is true, then it would have to be sometime after that her mother got killed. Like sometime after the first movie.
Now I could buy that, but I never, until the discussion we had about part 1, I always just assumed she was speaking of that scene and that scene actually happened. But since I've been enlightened from our last discussion on it, and we said, what we did about it being a dream, it's changed. So I guess that does make sense.
Well, maybe enlightened. It's really just a theory. One that Wes Craven has never spoken to that I've seen. So, and Nancy even said, God damn it. Heather Langenkamp even says that while they were making the first one, she's like, this doesn't make any sense. And he's like, it's a dream,
So what would, they came up with that song, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, and all that shit. Kristen, whatever, sings it. Nancy finishes it, so she knows, oh my god, so I'm not going to kill you too, along with the rest of these guys who I'm slashing up. But what exactly was Kincaid singing when he was in that quiet room? He made up his own fucked up version of this song. I don't know what it was.
No, he made his own fucked up version of, he was singing Ain't Gonna Dream No More, No More. Ain't Gonna Dream No More.
Yeah.
All night long I sing the song, there's a song that I used to be, when I was a little boy, my mother used to sing me a song, and it was, Ain't Gonna Rain No More, No More, Ain't Gonna Rain No More. How in the heck can I wash my neck if it ain't gonna rain no more?
Oh my god.
And I totally forgot about that song, and when I watched the movie, I thought the same thing you did. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the play on that song. I don't know. Does anybody else know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, thank you, Jamie. Once again.
But we're like the same age, so.
Right.
You're both 40?
No, we're both 57.
So Freddy's humor is implemented into this movie, and I gotta say, I kept careful tabs on it because I really want to get to the bottom of tone changes and horror that we talked about. And did this movie implement comedy in the perfect way, or was it already too much and they just made it way too much from here on in? And I have an answer.
Perfect. That's my answer.
The answer is perfect.
Yes. Agreed.
Do you know why?
Do I know?
Well, it's because the one-liners, they were not playing to the audience. It was literally Freddy's cruel jabs at the characters themselves. You know, it was just sarcasm, cruelty, and personal jabs. It had nothing to do with... To go where this goes beyond from here is just insane. Like, he's not making a Jaws reference, let's just say, in the fucking ocean for horror fans.
Oh, that was brilliant.
He is just talking to the people themselves. Is it really funny? Is it really a joke or a one-liner to say, I said, where's the fucking bourbon? You know? And he like, that's just Freddy getting angry and fucking with Kristen's head, watching this happen. No pun intended, because he brings the mom's head out. But it's seamless. It's perfect. To me, it's no more crazy than him holding up his fingers and chopping his fingers off and watching the green shit come out.
That was great, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just as sort of... but he's just more vocal at this point.
It's still dark.
Yes, and he's still scary.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
talk.
he has become a joke yet.
No.
Point.
I took notes. I was half an hour in, and I wanted to see. I did the same thing you did, Alex. I was trying to weigh out the comedy. And half an hour in, Freddy Krueger hasn't said a word, and we've already seen him in a couple dream sequences. All he's done is laugh a little bit. Dark laugh. You know what I mean? And chase people. Nothing. It took him 40 minutes into this movie to speak.
Wow.
40 fucking minutes. Now, we'll see what happens when we get to the next movies. How quick it takes and what comes out of his mouth.
It's probably over right away, you know.
It's a boy! Like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, right, 5 minutes in, it's a boy. But, and one more thing before we get specific also. You know, just some overviews. The special effects. Oh, my God. So far beyond what was going on. I mean, this, you know, it's so funny because I was thinking, I remember when I was younger and watching these and, you know, I went through all of them for whatever reason. And the only thing I was halfway jealous about was that my favorite franchise doesn't have all this glitzy glamour special effects. And I'm like, man, my shit is just people running around through the woods and in houses talking to each other and outside talking to each other by lakes and shit. Like, this is so much. Like, this is so crazy. It's just, like, so much effort and detail and such great execution. It's just like, ugh. It kind of made me jealous that my favorite franchise didn't have all that.
That's why the New Blood did what they did when they did it.
You think?
Of course, it was at that time, 87, 88. Granted, it wasn't fucking, they weren't reinventing the wheel by having a fucking telekinesis girl. They did do something in that manner, and I attribute that to Freddy.
So that was the answer to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do on a Friday the 13th to make anything supernatural, unless you want to go fucking Jason Goes to Hell, and then you really shit the bed.
Yeah, well, I guess they did do a little there. And that was bad. Kristen's having these dreams about 1428 Elm Street. You know, this is, like, not a good thing. She's clearly tortured by the idea. Why is she continuously building houses out of popsicle sticks and drawing pictures of this house? I mean, why would you want to just, like, see that, draw it and look at it? I mean, like, what is the point of this?
Maybe it's catharsis.
She
Maybe
dreams about it every night.
It's cleansing, you know, purging.
So if you keep ending up in a house in a dream and it's a nightmare, if you build it...
They will
will come.
Okay, well, you know, in one of the dreams early on, after Nancy shows up, you know, Kristen's in this dream, and Freddy, giant penis Freddy, the gigantic snake...
Awesome.
Comes in and gives her a rock bottom.
Oh, that was great. I love that.
It was more like a jackknife power bomb, but I'll take a rock bottom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. A jackknife. And she calls Nancy into her dream, and Nancy like hears it, gets up, and then gets tired. So she literally. It's funny because later on in the movie, they all had to fall asleep in order for them to be together. But in the beginning, all you had to do was call somebody or want them, and they would just pass out and just fall asleep.
No, she was already asleep. she fell asleep because they showed her.
Nancy was asleep, then got up, and then fell back into the chair, but she was sleeping when she got up?
Yeah, for some reason they showed her, like, looking at papers. Like, she went into Kristen's room because her mother was being a cunt. So she said, I'll go up there and do this shit instead since you don't want to help your kid. And then she went upstairs, and then we see her, and then she's like, I know she's looking at papers, and I want to believe that she's, like, showing signs of being tired, rubbing her eyes or something. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I remember looking at it and, you know, trying to watch it with a critical eye and thinking, okay, well, she's tired. And then she falls back and gets sucked in. So I want to say that they were both asleep. And, well, we know Kristen was for sure, but I think Nancy was at least halfway there.
Yeah, okay. So the next guy to fall asleep is Eyeball from Stand By Me, Phil. And I love this sequence because don't you love how Freddy's a puppet first on the strings and then his head forms, and I like how he's already like smiling, like he already has an emotion about what's going on.
Yes.
He's happy about this. It's like so funny that he just cuts himself down, he's walking around. But I don't know, the effect of him growing in front of the bed, I didn't think that was that good. It was kind of weird. It looked like a special effect instead of being like a true-to-life special effect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for the time, it was the best they can do, I guess. It was just, they took an image and they made it bigger. It was as basic as you can get.
Would it have been cooler if it was still the puppet and it just grew and it was a giant Freddy puppet, then he turned to real person or something?
I just wish he would have stayed as like the Moon Man looking thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did he have to become normal anyway?
You're right. They could have kept him clay because look at the way fucking when he was the Freddy Snake, that was I don't want to say it was claymation for certain, but it was some type of, you know what I mean? It was special effects, practical effects. They could have done that. I wish they would have too. You're 100% right.
Yeah, it would have been cooler. It's like they copped out just by, let's make him normal now.
Yeah, we've done enough already.
Have a nice stroll,
asshole. I fucking love that. I say that line to this day. I say it to my wife sometimes, like if we're watching a movie or something. Yeah, as a joke. Like if she gets up and walks out of the room when I'm not expecting her to, and then if we're watching something and then she gets up to answer the phone, I'll say it. Have a nice stroll, asshole. Because I'm pissed off she got up. I've been saying that line for years. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Wait, Phil's walking down the hallway. Now, how the hell does he go through the door that never opens?
It's a dream. That's why.
That's what I was thinking,
Alex. But you're absolutely right, Alex. It's in real life. He just sort of whooshes him right through.
Yep.
He is dreaming, yes, but in real life, he has to go through that door in order to get where he ends up.
Yep. And then after it happens, the woman even says, from now on, everything's going to be on lockdown at certain times, and this thing's going to be locked. And I'm thinking, well, asshole, that you already tried that. It obviously doesn't work.
Asshole.
Hey, asshole! I don't understand. Why did they make that choice? Because if you're paralleling again, which is the weird thing with these movies, they always pick and choose if they're going to do this. It's so weird. Why don't people just lay in bed, sleeping? Like, why do they always mimic what the fuck is going on? Because it doesn't make any sense.
They're trying to emphasize the magnitude of fucking Freddy's power to get into the real world. They did that obviously with intent to say, oh, look it, he can even make him go through a door that's fucking really here.
Yeah, but you can't.
Right, but you can. That's why we're discussing it. Yeah, but yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like, because, they do establish he's a sleepwalker. And even Kincaid saying, come on, man, go to sleep. All right, have a nice stroll, asshole. It's every day this guy does this. That's what they're establishing here. So if you're establishing that, then it would make sense for him to parallel what's going on in the dream because he walks in his sleep, so we can understand this. So the one guy you explain that for is the guy that you do something unexplainable for. You just explained how he is going to mimic what's going on in that dream, even though he doesn't have actual lines going out of his arms, but then you do something unexplainable to the same guy. It's just, I don't understand that.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter because the way his tendons looked when they fucking ripped him out, so awesome, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite deaths in the entire franchise, and it's one that has stuck with me over the years because I have a vein thing. Like, it really, veins freak me out.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And this whole, so I can't watch it. Like, when he starts like puppeting him, like ripping out I can't look at it. I have to turn away. And it also is very special because this was the first issue of Fangoria that I ever read. Had Evil Dead 2 on the cover, and also had a big story about Dream Warriors, and then it had a full page picture of the scene where he's doing the puppeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that issue framed on my wall.
You still have it?
No, it's not the exact same issue. It was given to me several years ago because it was, they knew it was special to me.
So they went and got it again.
So they got it for me, and then I framed it and put it on my wall here.
Oh, shit.
Well, the next big kill is Pie Face. This chick...
Pie Face.
Her face looks like a fucking Bavarian whipped cream fucking pie with eyes and mouth on it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She's watching TV. Zsa Zsa Gabor's on TV.
What is she watching before Zsa Zsa? One of my favorite films.
Jason 6.
Critters.
Yes, Critters. Very good.
Wow.
Jason 6 was Paramount, sir.
Well, I actually just watched Critters today. That's why.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Fuck.
Well, we got the 4-pack from Dollar General for $4.
Damn.
That was I feel like buying it again now. God damn it, get me to a Dollar General.
Jamie, how about this for a coincidence? Jamie watched the movie that takes place in the movie she's reviewing on the day she watched it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I didn't even do that on purpose.
and I just drove by a Dollar General about an hour and a half ago.
Damn, Dave, go back and break into the store if they're closed and buy it for $4.
And how about this for an amazing coincidence? Last night, me and my fiance were watching 90210. That morning, I got Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 on Blu-ray shipped to me from Scream Factory.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it just came out, hot off the press.
Fuck you.
Got it that day and watched all the special features. That night, she once watched 90210. We put a random episode on in season 10, and Donna goes, "Hey, David, I was going to call you yesterday, but Sleepaway Camp was on." Like, what are the fucking chances of that? It's, like, astronomically bizarre.
It is fucked up.
Yeah.
No one mentions Sleepaway Camp anywhere.
Can I ask you something?
No. So, Kirsten...
Can I ask you something? No.
Okay, what is it?
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Oh my god!
You ruined my joke. You said no. Fuck. It would have been much funnier if you would have said yes.
Okay, ready? Go ahead. Yeah, sure. I think,
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Yes.
so stupid. Okay, yeah, so Zsa Zsa Gabor, nobody gives a fuck what she thinks. They kill her. And supposedly they hired her to do that because the guy, John Cabot or whatever, the interviewer.
Dick Cavett, you
Dick
mean?
Cavett.
Oh, Dick Cavett. He thought she was the dumbest asshole in the world. So that's his, like, jab at her without her knowing it. She thought it was just all in good fun. Poor girl.
Really? Dick Cavett was in on the joke for that reason? That's funny.
Yeah, he didn't like her.
She would never actually be on his show, and he couldn't stand her, and he thought she was the dumbest person alive, so... And no one would give a fuck what she thought, so that's why.
She seemed pretty smart when she was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the first season.
Well, that explains it.
You know what I like in this movie? Everyone knows that famous line, of course. Welcome to prime time, bitch. You know, it's famous. But you know what I noticed this time, which was funny? He says, it's your big break in TV.
Yeah.
It's a good pun because she actually breaks into the TV, literally.
Well, look, here's the thing about Pie Face. When they walk in the room and her head is buried into a fucking television that's 10 feet off the floor, what exactly do they think happened?
Freddie picked her up and put her in.
No, but do they think she went for a running start and just dove into the television?
Yeah, even if you did, you're not putting your head through a TV like that. I don't care how hard you run. It's not happening. And
it was pole vaulting into the TV.
And what kills me is like, oh, it was suicide. Are you fucking out of your mind? What?
It's a new Olympic event.
those are fucking heavy, and those screens are thick. Like, you'd have to have a sledgehammer to break that shit.
Oh, yeah. And on the first try, you probably wouldn't break it.
Somebody's head is not going through it. Not like that. That's ridiculous. Not, at least not without some help, you know, like of the supernatural kind, I guess.
No,
but yes, that's suicide. Like, who the hell would do that? I mean,
like, what kind of a way to kill? How about dropping the fucking thing on your head, but not jumping into it?
Unscrew that shit and let it fall on your head. Don't.
That's true. He could have just done that because Freddy became the TV. His head popped up, which was awesome, and then the arms came out. He could have pushed her in and then slammed it back down and make it more believable.
Yeah.
You know, she could have.
But Freddy don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't care. You're right.
Yeah, he's not that into hope. Oh, well, I hope they still think these kids are doing it themselves. Let me make this more sellable.
However, he did put a razor blade in Kristen's hand in the beginning for no reason.
Right. I don't know. We go to Joey, who has the greatest fucking nightmares I've ever seen in my entire life. They do this group dream sleep thing where, you know, once they realize that Kristen can make everybody come together in the dream by sucking them into her dream, and that all happens. They don't know they're dreaming. So Joey gets out of the room, and he follows the hot blonde nurse into a room because she calls him over.
Oh, this scene, so good.
She takes her clothes off and turns around, man.
Yes.
And then she has this thong on, and even for the 80s, this chick is so hot, because usually there's something that's called 80s hot, and what usually prevents you from being hot now is your fucking hair or your makeup. And in this case, man, no way, man.
Well, Mike, her tits weren't too big for you?
No, they were. No, well, they're big for me now, but, you know, young Michael J., when he went to the theater to see this, he was very enthralled, let's just say that.
Yeah, hey, young Dave Z was too. I was there for the theater, yes.
Is it gay if Freddy makes out with a guy while he's in the form of a woman?
He's evil. He's not gay or straight or anything.
I have a question about Joey. The first time we see him in the hall when he's talking to the nurse, and he has that little teardrop on his face.
Yeah.
And that's actually in the script that we see him, and he has an inked on teardrop on his, and it makes him look like he's like a fucking gang member. I'm like, who did he take out?
No, usually it's because you're crying for the death of somebody else, I thought.
But then later on, he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So, had anyone died when we first go to the facility? Had anyone just died?
They said that someone died. They said that they lost somebody, but I think they said 2 weeks ago.
The guy who cut his eyes off, I thought.
You're right.
Yeah, him.
Could it have been for him?
Maybe.
Then he doesn't do it. Then he doesn't do it later. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was odd that it was there and then it wasn't there later on. And
maybe he just got over it.
Yeah. Well, he thought it was too much work to put it on every day. I don't know.
Or maybe he was in love with the guy that cut his ears off or eyelids off.
His ears off. What, he didn't want to fucking hear Freddy?
I think that's part 6, right?
He didn't want to hear his one-liners.
Right.
He's like, shut the fuck up with those dumb jokes.
Oh, fuck. How about Joey when he wakes up the kid in the wheelchair? How ridiculous and funny that part is. When he's trying to carry him, and then the kid, Will's yelling at him, what are you doing to me? And he's fucking pulling him around the room.
So then Joey goes into a coma, gets both their asses fired, and at that point, they already... Here's the weird thing. Now, they said they agreed to give the kids Hypnosil after the kid did the marionette death. So they said, well, it's going to take a day, and I'm guessing that day didn't happen yet because then they do the mass hypnosis, which... And here's a weird thing. How come they were all so willing to go to sleep with the mass dream thing that where Joey got in a coma, yet it's like they're so afraid to go to sleep any other time in the movie?
Because Kristen and Nancy sold it to him and they bought it. That's why. They sat down and they discussed, she has a really good gift. She pulled me into the dream. If we all get together, we have a chance to take him out. And this might be our only hope for right now until we get the Hypnosil. So Nancy and Kristen sold it to
But why not just wait one more day and just get the Hypnosil and not risk anything like that? Like, why do these weird heroics?
Well, because they can't be on Hypnosil for the rest of their lives. If they could take them out, this may be their only chance.
I wouldn't bother taking him out. No, I would do what Nancy's doing.
Nancy wants him out. She goes, "You're the last of the Elm Street children." Gives them the whole rigmarole. Ba-da-ba.
But why do they have to kill him? Why do they have to risk their lives?
Because this killer be killed.
No, just take Hypnosil forever.
But you can't suppress your dreams forever. You will go insane. Dreams are necessary. Like if you don't dream at all, then it will fuck you up.
Mm.
And so it's like that's why it was experimental, and I mean, and that's true. So that's why it was experimental and dangerous, is because you can't do that.
Dangerous.
You have to dream, or you will go insane.
Yep,
And we all do, even though we don't always remember them, and don't always, like a lot of times, you wake up and you'll remember your dream, and then a lot of times you wake up and you're like, I didn't dream at all. Well, you did. You just don't remember it. So
You just don't remember it, dumbass.
But if you don't, then it will severely affect you and like fuck you up big time. So that's not something you can do for a long period of time. Which is why the woman was all, no, it's experimental. We can't do that,
Right. But you're right, Alex. They did get a raw deal. Nancy and fucking Bill Maher got fucked over because they hadn't got the Hypnosil yet. The guy that runs the place just fucking panicked. Said, "There's been 2 suicides." Blah, 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 blah. And the woman knew that Hypnosil was next on the fucking menu. Did she know whether or not they had it yet? No. So they got fucked. But I got another question. How come? Remember when they all get hypnotized and all this shit's going on and they're all showing each other their power? Kristen's doing her thing. Kincaid's fucking bending chairs. Yada yada. Okay. Now they're doing this. They're probably doing this for like 5-10 minutes. At least, right? All of a sudden, nobody notices Joey is gone until he's fucked. All of a sudden, like, where's Joey? Where the fuck's Joey been while you guys have been doing all these fucking...
Yeah, doing backflips and shit. Yeah.
Well, they're used to him being quiet.
Yeah, they were like, we don't hear him, but when do we ever hear him?
I'll tell you
Well,
what,
here's my
it's
question
not a bad
about
argument.
the Hypnosil. Nancy couldn't front. She didn't have 5 extra pills. She could front those kids until their order came in. They could get them back.
Yeah, they didn't have to wait a day.
Right.
That's true.
You're right.
5. Just take it out of their dose. Okay, so far, Phil, the puppet guy, and Pieface, the TV chick, are both dead. This doctor gets fired, and he's bringing his shit out to his trunk of his car. He boxed up his shit, and he said, "Get the fuck out of here." They threw him out, and this picture drops on the floor in the parking lot. What are the fucking chances there would be a picture with this asshole with the 2 people who died in the movie, and no one else?
Yep.
Like, nobody else was in that picture, except for the exact people who died.
When it rains, it pours, buddy. It had to be that picture.
Joey's laying in the bed, and Nancy says something to Freddy, and then Freddy decides to respond to her by slashing Joey from the inside or some shit.
That was the best.
It's awesome.
Come get him, bitch.
It's sweet. The way it looks is so fucking badass. It's such good effects.
Yeah, but I
He
thought blood
loves
was
the
supposed
word
to be red.
bitch.
Yep, bitch is his fucking new word. Bitch. Yep. He's like Jesse. Another connection, right? He's like Jesse on Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, bitch.
Yep.
What's funny is on Never Sleep Again, they talk about, when they're talking about Freddy's nightmares, and the guy, one of the creators or somebody, his daughter was turning 15 when they were doing one of the episodes, and he had Freddy wish her a happy birthday on the episode, and he's like, "What are you, 15?" Something, I don't know, he makes a joke about having her learner's permit and driving or whatever, and then he calls her a bitch.
Wow.
On Freddy's Nightmares. And I'm like, wow. And then he's like, she was so popular, like, she was really popular in school. Her dad says she was really popular in school because of that. Like, she was, all of her friends were like, oh, wow, Freddie wished you a happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, Freddie called my 15-year-old daughter a bitch on national TV. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Speaking of fathers and daughters, John Saxon is back. It's Miller time for him, and he has been demoted to a security guard.
He's living the high life.
He's been demoted to a security guard. He was the sheriff, I guess, in part 1, and on his arm you could see it says security. And I guess we're to believe that after his wife died in her sleep and all that shit went down with Nancy, that he just kind of gave up on life or whatever.
Makes no sense. by the way.
Why is that?
Why? Because he didn't give a damn about his fucking ex-wife. You see the way their banter was in part one? See? And I didn't notice till this time because I was looking
and Nancy
for it.
even says when she's talking to Bill Maher in this one, she says, everything went downhill after my mother killed herself and my dad, like the relationship with my father, like everything got bad. And I'm like, why? He didn't give a shit about her.
Right.
I mean, it was clear. I mean, the way they talked to each other, the way they were around each other, they barely even, he didn't give a shit.
Like me and my ex, same exact fucking thing. So I wouldn't fall off the wagon. I might be drunk, but it'd be from fucking celebration. It wouldn't be from depression, that's for sure.
Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Thank God nobody listens to this show.
If you only knew, you'd know why.
Back to the sleeping thing. Don't these kids sleep every night? Like, I just don't understand why it's such a big deal to sleep at some point. They have to... are we to believe that they've been staying up for months or something?
Well, we saw that at least when the ones who have roommates will sleep in shifts.
Right,
They take turns sleeping. Like I'll take first shift. You wake me up.
Well, even Kincaid, when he goes, nice stroll, ass, or have a nice, or whatever. So, he wasn't supposed to be sleeping because he seemed to be sleeping. And they were all okay with it. They were just sleeping and they were okay with the idea.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Kincaid was sleeping that night. He was. He was trying to go to bed.
Right.
Oh, he's a growing boy. He needs to sleep.
Yeah, not no more.
Well, he's... I think that they're trying to sleep as little as possible. And I think that's pretty much the running theme through this whole series.
Yeah, that's why they took the watch or whatever.
There you go. They just sleep a little bit because they can't control it. Or in shifts or whatever. But they're not going to sit down and say, I'm going to sleep for fucking 8 hours tonight and go to bed. They fight it as long as they can. Eventually, you have to get a little sleep, so they just give in.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. But it's when you mention the way Kincaid looked pretty comfortable when he was fucking laying down in that bed. He had his fucking arm on his head. He was like, it was like me getting ready to go to bed on a normal night, just chilling. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. So you're right. That is a little bit. It kind of goes against everything that happens later. Because later on, he's fucking Kincaid singing that song, terrified to sleep.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
It is weird.
Now we get to the most cheesy shit ever. This chick, Taryn, this guy tries to get her to do some good pharmaceutical shit and stuff like that. And I've dabbled in all this type of stuff. And pharmaceutical, it's just good shit. So, no, I'm just kidding. Kids, don't do drugs. Seriously, there's nothing better than being straight, man. I've been completely straight and sober for over 2 months now, and it's the best you can do. I know it seems more fun to get drunk or high or whatever, but in the end, it's just very unproductive.
I've been sober that long, too.
Yeah, we both been. It's by coincidence.
Yeah, it is by a coincidence. It's pretty fucked up, yeah.
So now we get to the junkie. She does the corniest shit. She makes herself look like a punk rocker in her dreams. She says, in my dreams, I'm beautiful and bad. I think that was a Michael Jackson reference. I don't know. But she kind of looked like him in that Bad video when he had all those belt buckles and straps going across him when he was in the black tights or whatever he was in.
You're right. Yeah.
Her mohawk didn't do it for me, though, at all.
Nah, I didn't like it either.
Would you bang her with that mohawk?
I'm not attracted to her.
I'd bang her with anything she had.
When you're done, you could shoot her your load all over the side of the mohawk.
Yeah, it would actually stick probably. Damn, that's a good idea.
She could use it as more hair gel.
Well, then it would save her product.
Yeah.
I would just shoot my load into those fucking holes on her arm.
The mouths.
Oh, gross. Now you just grossed me out.
Sorry,
I can't
man.
look at those either because of my whole thing. No, because of the whole other thing, my whole other phobia.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie? Just picture them as eyes. They look like eyes to me. They really
That's
do.
what I did at first.
Like discolored eyes.
Huh.
That's what the effect looks like to me. Yeah, like next time when you watch part 4 with the pizza, it kind of looks the same way.
Yes, the pizza. Love it.
She fights him. Of course, being a junkie, she cannot get out of the fucking alleys, no matter even if it's a dream or not. She's still hanging out in the alleyway. then he just pulls his hands up, and they're all syringes, and he sticks them into those mouth suckers on the arm where you normally shoot up heroin. There's 2 kills that are kind of odd, and one's not a kill actually, but
which makes it really odd.
Kincaid is like bending chairs and punching through walls and all this strong guy shit. And as soon as he fights Freddy literally overpowers him in all of 2 seconds, and then gets him up in a chokehold. He's up there choking him. And then Freddy lifts his stomach, his shirt, to expose his stomach and the soles in his stomach. And Kincaid takes the time to like glance down to see what he's showing everybody while he's getting choked. That didn't occupy his attention enough. He's like, well, what's he doing down there too? It was just so funny to watch him like look down there. But it's just amazing how all these powers didn't mean shit. And when did Arquette ever do her power? Like, did she do backflips? Maybe she did. Didn't she like
a little bit
drop kick them or some shit like that?
She did a couple random things.
But even then, what a lame power to have.
Right.
I mean, if you can do anything you want in your dreams, that's going to be your choice.
Yeah, you're going to be Mary Lou Retton?
Well, in her defense, she has the best power of them all because she can suck them into the dreams. So that's kind of like a side gig, the fact that she can do gymnastics. Her real power is that she can bring anyone into her dreams she wants. That's a pretty strong power to have. I'd take that over probably any of them.
How come nobody could fly, though?
Right? Can you fly in your dreams, Alex?
I always get too nervous when I go too high, and I find myself trying to go down to the ground more.
Oh, fuck! I forgot to tell you. I had a dream the other night. Have you guys ever heard that when you have a dream, if you die in the dream, you die in real life? Did you ever hear that rumor when you were a kid?
Well, of course.
It's not true. The other night, I had a dream that I was a member of Sons of Anarchy. Okay? Wow! And yeah, dude, I was a member of Sons of Anarchy, and I had to go on this run. But I knew that I was a minor character, and I knew that fucking... all right? And I knew I was going to get whacked. So first it was a dream, and then it became reality. So I knew it was me, but then I knew I was on a TV show, but then I knew I was also going to die. Long story short, I got fucking shot or something, and I got killed. And my mother was watching it on TV or something, and somehow I was able to see it, and I didn't die. So after fucking 40 years... I figured out that if you die in your dream, you don't die in real life. So, everybody...
Yeah, but
don't fear.
Your brain must have convinced yourself that you were on TV or something. But here's the thing. I have done the thing. I think it's funny you say it. I have fallen to my death. It was black, and I knew I was laying there or whatever. And I'm still here doing shitty podcasts. So, I mean, you don't really die. It's just not true.
Do you guys ever have the dream where you're falling, or you like wake up and you like jolt in the bed, like you think that you fell or something?
Oh yeah.
I hate that.
Oh, I love it. It's so exciting.
I love it too. I always love it. Have you guys seen Dreamscape?
I've heard of it. It's a movie from the 80s or no?
Yeah, it is. It actually came out in 83, right before Nightmare did. And
That's right.
There are a lot of similarities thematically with that film versus this film. And the whole point of that film is that, well, not the whole point, but within that film, if you die in your movie, you die in real life. If you die in your movie. If you die in your dream, you die in real life. But
if you die in your movie, you die in real life.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that there are people who say that they believe Wes Craven was influenced by that film when he made Nightmare. Considering that came out in 83 and Nightmare came out in 84, it would have to be really, I mean, the timing there is really tight for him to have been influenced by it. I could totally see an argument for it because you should check it out, really. It's a good movie, period. It's just a good movie. But
I think
check it out and look for the similarities. There is even a guy.
Knives? Yeah. Does he have knives in this movie too, or am I wrong?
Yeah, he does. He has like blades that grow out of his fingers.
What?
Isn't that fucked
dream.
up?
This is bullshit.
Well, hold on 1 second. Maybe that part was lifted, but the whole idea, and I've heard Craven say this was based on a fucking... You guys watched it on Never Sleep.
Yeah, he said it was real things that were happening.
Yeah, it really happened. I think some kid in China, maybe?
The newspaper articles.
Yeah, that's fucking scary. And
oh my god, it's on Blu-ray. Jesus
It is? How much?
Yeah,
yes, it is. Oh, I'm getting it.
We have the Blu-ray. It looks really pretty. But
It's gorgeous.
some of the effects are shut up. Some of the effects are kind of iffy today, obviously, but I mean it's been 32 years, but it has a very dreamlike quality to it, even more so than Nightmare.
Wow.
I think.
Okay, let's rank them. Nightmare on Elm Street, Bad Dreams, or whatever you just said.
Dreamscape.
Dreamscape. How do you rank it?
I really like Dreamscape. I guess I like Nightmare a little better, but
It's that good?
Dreamscape. I think it is. I think it's very clever. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'd say check it out. I mean, like, don't buy it on my recommendation, but watch it on my recommendation, and then you may decide you want to buy it. But
I just bought it.
Holy shit. Well, Jamie, are you still honoring your buyback guarantee?
Oh, that happens that one time.
No,
Jamie, it doesn't matter. I buy everything. Fuck
I
it.
just specifically said don't buy it on my recommendation.
It was
$12.71.
I bought it. Fuck it. Yeah, I bought it. Fuck it.
Hey, let's review it. Let's review it on one of our shows.
It got 4 stars out of 5.
It's good. It's a good movie.
All right, so let's get back. People are probably, whoever listens just for this review, are like, are they ever going to talk about the movie again?
You know, we started talking about dreams, this, that.
Okay, Freddy's bones come to life, which is cool, because I'm a big fan of Jason and the Argonauts. That was a pretty cool little thing.
Oh my God! Those are gonna be my exact words. I love skeletons in movies, and I've always loved skeletons since I was a kid. But Jason and the Argonauts, I fucking love it.
And I love skeletons on podcasts.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Oh, dude, I could listen to that all day long. Nancy, gets her dad's help. The guy, Bill Maher, roughed him up in the bar, said, I don't know if you care about it when Nancy dies, but I fucking do.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he goes to find Freddy's bones because Bill Maher realizes that the way to... I don't even know how, or, whatever, but the way to kill...
Amanda tells him all
She
this
says
stuff.
that, okay. So the way to kill Freddy is because an imaginary ghost talked to Bill Maher 3 or 4 times, and she, I guess, tells him that he's in a shallow grave. And I really think it is genius. I really love, because, I'm going to hate how Freddy dies in future movies. I think it's so fucking dumb. But, and this is so much even better than the stupid shit in Jason Lives, where he has to go back to his resting place. I think that is just dumb. I get what you're trying to do, but I think it's still stupid. But in this one, Freddy was never buried. He was just in the back of a trunk of a car in a junkyard. And so they have to take the bones out, and only the dad knows where they are. And then they have to bury him a full 6 feet. I don't know the significance. And they dump holy water on him also and throw a cross on him. It's really cool because when he does that, like the holy water, where it lands on the skull of the skeletons, it matches Freddy, like how... But, we're getting to the end, so I shouldn't really talk about this yet. But here's another thing that makes zero sense, and this ties into Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. How could the skeleton come alive and attempt to kill Bill Maher and kill Nancy's father when they're both awake?
Yeah,
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Yep, I hear you.
And the only answer because I was asking these same questions when we were watching it the other day, the only answer that Brian was able to give was because Freddy. And it was just like, basically, you just accept it. And it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. I mean, not only are they wide awake, but why would his skeleton have anything to do with anything being, I mean, we have never heard anything about him haunting any place or, like a fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, his skeleton has never played a part ever before. Maybe because they hadn't let it out of the trunk. I don't know.
Yeah, and he celebrates at the end after he throws fucking Bill Maher in the thing. I love that celebration. He puts the dirt on, then he raises his hands and does a little celebration.
Yeah.
And then the bones collapse. And next thing you know, he's doing the mirror.
Wait, what does he
tricks.
do to Bill Maher again? Oh, he buries him. Okay.
Hits him in the head with a shovel, and then...
He killed, Nancy's dad, as soon as possible, man. He just...
Oh, yeah, he threw him right through that fucking thing.
Yeah, that was, the fastest kill ever. That was, so weird.
Yeah, but he was better than Rob Dyer. At least he fucking did what he had to do.
He's killing me. Does anybody think of the Frog Brothers whenever Bill Maher runs into the church to get the holy water?
Yeah, right.
Every time I picture the Frog Brothers running in where they're like running and there are people in the church and they're just like da 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 get the holy water from the thing, like don't mind us. Then he just goes over and takes the crucifix and he's like, here, take my driver's license.
That's great. That's so stupid. So Joey finds
I've got some vampires to kill, gotta go.
So Joey finds out that his power, because obviously he didn't do shit in his dreams, so his power was talking. Which makes no sense because he's able to talk later on in real life. So I don't know if he just decided not to talk. Maybe he always could have.
He did. They said it. They said he used to be a debater at school.
Right.
And,
I thought he said he was a masturbator. I didn't understand that.
A master debater. Yeah.
So everyone gets sucked into the mirrors. He screams, breaks them all free. Then Mar does. I guess he comes out of the grave, and then Freddy didn't realize that somehow. I don't know how Freddy even knew that they were doing anything to begin with. Like how could he know that
it's his soul,
that they were messing with his bones the first time, but he didn't know the second time? I don't get it.
What, the second time?
Yeah, when he actually throws the holy water on him and then kills him. Isn't that two separate occasions?
Yeah, I guess he was too preoccupied this time.
Right, because now he's putzing around with Nancy and
he's doing funhouse tricks and fucking playing with mirrors and
he's too preoccupied.
Which, by the way, next movie we're gonna that's another movie, mirrors. But yeah.
So Nancy gets murdered, and it's weird because her dad died in real life somehow. Well, I guess not somehow. Freddy knew that, so he manifests himself as her father. You know, she buys it. I don't know why she would think it's real. Obviously.
Oh, really? Really? You don't know why she would think that was real? I thought I bought it hook, line, and sinker the first time I saw it.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, no, it doesn't make any sense that just because. Okay, think of it if you were going to try to put it in real terms, think of it as she is inside Kristen's dream. Her dad just got killed, and his soul can find its way inside someone else's dream to say goodbye to his daughter. That makes no goddamn sense.
Well, if anything's possible, I guess, and considering who we're talking
because Freddy.
Yeah. Because Freddy.
But it works so well because it's like he came full circle. It was like a wonderful moment, like because he turned into a drunk. He looked so clean. He's like, I crossed over, princess. It's fucking a heavy emotional.
No, it was.
Scene.
It worked great.
I cried.
Yeah, it's great.
I still cry.
It is fucking tear-inducing. I could see somebody crying for that.
I personally wouldn't, but yeah, I could see that.
No, I wouldn't, but being a daddy to a girl, it tugs at the heartstrings a little, but still.
No, it worked. I'm not saying it didn't work. It was great.
I know.
They played it well, and it was sold well. And that's why she bought it.
Then he's like, "Die!" That fucking
die, bitch. Happy birthday. So, what do you guys think of having 3 survivors in a horror movie? Like, I don't know the point of that, but it didn't bother me.
So they could be killed in 4. That's exactly why they did it.
I think it's great because that's unconventional.
Right. I like it. Because why must there always be one person?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. I like it.
And Nancy's death had enough weight to it that it doesn't. You don't really need anyone else to die at that point.
Yeah, and we saw so many good fucking murder sequences in this movie. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to complain about in that department.
Right. It seems to be over. They're burying Nancy and shit, and then that's it. So then I think Bill Maher's sleeping, and he for some reason has that house in his room, in his bedroom, and then the light turns on in Jesse's bedroom, I think, like wherever.
Jesse's bedroom. Or Nancy's bedroom. She's still alive. That's what the movie was saying. Nancy lives on.
Well, see, I remember when
her bedroom was on the other side of the house.
Oh, right, it was.
Oh, yeah, shit, you're right. I don't even remember.
Then I'm right, Jesse. Yeah.
Okay, it's Jesse.
No, but I remember, like, distinctly when I went to the movies to see that. It was me and my dad, and I remember when that happened at the end of the movie, he looked over at me and he said, they're going to make another one because Freddy's alive. So he turned the light on in the house. I'm like,
wow, your dad's sharp.
Maybe he really did. Yeah, that's...
Hey, son, I got this figured out. Elmo's going to go to Kermit's house because
you don't, dude. You don't understand. My parents didn't like horror movies. They just did it because I forced it upon them all.
Well, that's cool.
Elmo and Kermit.
Well,
I don't think they ever hung out, did they?
no, I think I actually accidentally combined two different companies.
Yeah,
No, they're all Muppets.
No, they're together. It's just they're decades of, well, Kermit was way before Elmo, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, the light comes on in the house, and I think that's a brilliant ending cliffhanger because it's not a cheat in any real way. It's just supernatural and really cool, and it could mean anything. So it was just it's so much better than the ending of part 2 and 1 in the term of what they're trying to go for.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Just like 4 was the best ending of all so far, but we'll get to that.
Dokken does the song for this. Now, is that the end of the movie? Yeah, so it's like, Dream Warriors, Dream Warriors. So we'll play it at the end of the show. We'll be right back with the ratings.
This episode of the Skeleton Crew is brought to you by Hypnosil.
Attention, parents of Springwood, Ohio. Is your child being a total fucking asshole? Doing shit like constantly leaving their clothes lying around?
Joey, I'm getting tired of picking up your clothes.
Do they give you attitude about dinner because 2 of my friends died this week?
Something the matter with the cuisine?
Well, Mom, I'll tell you. When 2 of your friends die in the same day, let me know what it does to your appetite.
Constantly going near a house that you specifically told these pricks to stay away from.
Get the hell away from that house! On delay!
How about this? Do these jerkholes lash out anytime a stranger talks to them?
Where you from?
I don't know!
Does your retard of a child cock-block your ass every time you bring home a stranger to plow your field?
I'm still having those awful dreams.
Lane, where do you keep the bourbon?
Honey, I got a guess.
Do they think they're Encyclopedia fucking Brown when they've realized that maybe you killed a dude 20 years ago?
Give me that damn thing. It even has his name written in it. Fred Krueger. Do you know who that is, Mother?
Well, it's time to say fuck you to your kids, because we have the solution. Hypnosil. 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 Fucking A, just slip a little pill inside a bastard's juice in the morning and boom, no nightmares. Let's face it, they have nightmares because you're a terrible fucking parent. So rather than actually talk to these douchebags, Hypnosil their asses. No more bitching about warm milk.
I've heated up some warm milk for you, honey. Warm milk?
No more excessive diarrhea-inducing coffee consumption.
Stop drinking that damn coffee.
No more begging for narcotics.
Do you have any, caffeine pills or coffee, maybe some Coke?
No more wondering if something very strange is going on here.
We have reason to believe that there might be something very strange going on here.
No more rooms that are still packed.
I told you I want that room unpacked.
Man, I'm just going out for an hour or 2.
Right now, son.
Hypnosil. Take away the dreams, take away the asshole. But don't stop there. Is your wife being a bitch that constantly gives excuses about your whack job son?
Honey, he's all right. He's just having a bad day.
Hypnosil her ass too. Hypnosil them all. Hypnosil. Just drug these fucks in the morning and they'll be obedient by lunch. Hypnosil. 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 Take away the dreams, take away the asshole. Hypnosil. 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 Just drink your fucking juice and shut the fuck up.
Well, at least drink your juice.
Hypnosil is an experimental psychoactive drug and shouldn't be taken by anyone.
This is Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com with all the skinfo from the latest movies. Not nude in theaters. Bryce Dallas Howard co-stars in Jurassic World. You'll be waiting 1,000,000 years before seeing nudity in this summer blockbuster, but you can always watch Ron Howard's daughter get fully nude for a skinterracial sex scene in 2006's Mandalay. That should make your dino sore.
This is the Mr. Skin Minute.
Nude on the Stars Network, Layla Lauren is back in Bear on Power. Layla kicked off the Season 2 premiere with a bang, vigorously riding Omari Hardwick while bearing her bouncing bee cubs. No wonder Omari has a Hardwick. Nude on Netflix, it's the Wachowskis' sensational new sci-fi series, Sense8. In addition to a boob and butt-bearing shower scene from Wachowski regular Duna Bay, this show also packs in 2 lusty lesbian encounters between Freema Agyeman and Jamie Clayton. Sense8 will give you the sense that your 8 is tingling.
MrSkin.com.
Fast forwarding
to the good parts.
All right, guys, so we just went through A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, widely known as, this is known as the best of all of them. So, that's interesting. So let's see what you guys think about it. So, Jamie Jenkins, how do you rate Dream Warriors?
5.
5 out of 5. What a surprise.
Yep. I loved it. Ding. I love it. I said earlier, I think it's practically perfect. I mean, there are some things about it that make me giggle now, but overall, I think the story is, I don't know, really well crafted, and especially for a sequel, you know, and a rebounding off of the crap that was part 2.
I'm going to cut that out. Now, now, how do you, so this surpassed the original. A lot of people say, you know, which sequel surpassed the original. Would you say they did that?
I would say this one does for me, yes.
Wow. All right, Michael J.
I give it a 5 times infinity. And I say that it is so much better than that shitstorm previous film.
Dave Z.
All right. I also give it a 5. I also say it is the best of the series. Yeah, it's fucking an amazing film. Love it. And as far as part 2, they could have skipped part 2 and just had 1 and 3.
Yes!
But I'm glad, you know, I'm glad you guys are all offering to just give some banter on part 2. I think we already did that.
You're right. I didn't shit on it. I'm just saying that this is one of those series that you could do that.
He would say a word if we sucked a dick. He'd be like, guys, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Only because you're bashing my favorite one, I'm wondering why we're bringing this up.
And we're only bringing it up to be bashing your favorite one.
Of course, Dave. I mean, it's Alex.
But really, you can't ordinarily do that with a part 1 and a part 3. You know what I'm saying? It's a rare instance where part 2 could have not even existed. This could have been part 2 and nobody would have blinked an eye. You know?
Hey, Friday the 13th?
I give this a 4.5 out of 5.
You son of a bitch. Just give it the extra. I will bump it up to the 5 just because that's what they did with the half.
He's going to loan you the half a point so you can bump it up to 5.
Yeah, we'll take it off on my 5 times infinity. We'll give you a half.
Alex will not have a Hall of Fame for this.
You know what? I will give I'll change my rating of
part 2. You're gonna give the half point?
Well, no. Now I can give it. I'll give it. Yeah.
I'll
give it a half, just so I can take that half and put it here for here.
Right. Well, the reason is because, well, that would mean I love it, and I don't love it.
Oh, you love it.
No, dude, I don't love this movie. I mean, I think it's really, really good, and I really like it, but I don't love it. And like, I don't know.
Like it is 4, so I think 4.5 is generous.
That is good.
It's because one thing I did notice is that I think there is a part here where I lost. It loses me. My attention just. I don't know exactly where. I forgot to like write that down, but there was just a point where I don't know.
Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 came in the mail.
Yeah, right. I was like, what am I watching? Who cares?
You got distracted. Yeah.
No, but there was something where I just started going on my phone or something like that. I forgot where it was. There was no, like, real boring parts, but I forgot. Something lost me. I don't know why. So, I can't give it a 5, because most things I give a 5 to hold my attention all the way through. So, yeah, that's our ratings. There's just one thing I really don't understand about Dream Warriors, though. Did Bill Maher ever go back to get his driver's license?
Never, and they just let him drive.
Love it.
Yes.
Stand By Me is just coming up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the ratings for Dream Warriors, the 3rd installment of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We are heading over. The next show will be A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Warriors.
Oh, I can't.
Masters.
So.
Wait, I did it again? Oh,
yeah.
Dream Masters. Wait, hold on.
Dream Masters. Oh,
Master Debaters.
Fucked it up.
I don't care if I messed it up. We're all laughing because I made all the banners for the show and I called both things Dream Master or Dream Warrior. I don't know.
You reversed it. You called them both Dream Master, and then when you went to say it, you called them both Dream Warriors.
Holy shit!
Awesome.
I need some sleep.
Don't fall asleep.
Yes, and we'll be back with The Thing, I'm not going to say it again, part 4, guys. You know, the first one was a high, the second one people think is a low, third one brought it back, oh, yo, 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 and the fourth one, let's see where it will go.
Oh, I already know.
We'll be back.
See you next week as the Skeleton Crew's A Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective continues. Same bedtime, same dead channel.